Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. It is Monday. It is February 17th. It is President's Day.
It is cold.
It is cold. Thankfully, a lot of those kids out there don't have to wait out at bus stops and walk to school, that kind of thing today. So that's a positive there. We'll get to the weather here and talk about that more in just a minute. But first, a reminder, you can find us live here on Facebook each and every weekday morning. About 8 o'clock, we go live. It also saves on your Facebook feed, so you can watch us whenever it's convenient for you. You can also find us on our YouTube page and on your favorite podcast platforms. Just go to inforum.com/podcast, look for the Inforum Minute or Inforum on YouTube. So check us out in all those places. It is really cold out.
It's nasty.
Terrible.
Yeah, temps in the 20s below for a lot of us. Fargo so far I've seen as cold as -21. Sometimes you get a little bit colder in between your hourly observations, and then that data is analyzed and looked at and comes in a little bit later. So I'd say -21, -22, maybe -23 is as cold as we've gotten here in Fargo today.
That hurts.
Yeah, Minot's been as cold as -30, so even colder in that direction. Wind chill values easily -40s, -50s this morning. Up along the international border, -60 is within reach.
God.
Wales, North Dakota has been at -59. Langdon's been at -58. So, I mean, you're pretty much right there at -60.
Holy buckets.
You're looking at frostbite times when it's that cold about 5 minutes. Frostbite is never going to be instant. I get that question a lot because I always say once you get to about -40 for a wind chill, which Fargo has been at this morning, you're looking at around 5 minutes. And so people are like, well, if it's even colder, like how much faster is frostbite? Well, frostbite's never going to be instant.
Yeah.
You know, you're never going to step out the door and then like all of a sudden you have frostbite.
Become an icicle.
It's about 5 minutes for the minimum time. -40 and colder, which is what we're dealing with. Yeah. Extreme cold warning for all of us. In fact, all of North Dakota and all of Minnesota until noon tomorrow, and could easily be extended even longer because we're still dealing with dangerous cold, bitter cold through the middle of the week. Today, -7 for the high in Fargo. Nice sunshiny sky. A little bit of wind out of the northwest at 5 to 15 is responsible for these crazy cold wind chills. I'm thinking even in the warmest part of the day, your feels likes are -25 to -35.
Holy cow. Stay inside.
Yeah. Overnight tonight, we're right back down into the -20s and could be the coldest morning of the season so far.
Jeez.
Fargo's been as cold as -23. That happened back last Thursday, the day before Valentine's Day, on Giving Hearts Day, actually. And we're forecasting -25 for tomorrow morning. I know.
Why?
Yeah. We laugh because there's nothing else to do but cry.
It's just like, what? We can't just pull ourselves out of this.
No.
Right now.
I do have the warm-up, though. I'm getting there. So still sub-zero for your highs on Tuesday. Still in the -teens, close to -20 on Wednesday morning. Near zero on Wednesday.
Okay.
Getting there. Single digits above on Thursday. Teens on Friday. 20s on Saturday. What comes next?
30s.
The 30s.
Yes.
30s on
Eventually.
Sunday. So, I mean, we've got still like a week here of dealing with pretty nasty cold, especially during the work week part. Gets better through the weekend. Next Sunday, Monday, I have temperatures into the 30s. Could do some good melting. Some spots where there's less snow on the ground, I think 40 is within reach.
Cool.
The deeper snow you have on the ground, the harder it's going to be for you to warm up.
Sure.
We're all going to warm up. Everybody's going to make it out of this zero nastiness and sub-zero nastiness. But you will be warmer in the spots where there's less snow on the ground. The sun's energy goes into melting the snow before it can go into boosting the temperature. So we'll see how that all plays together into next week. But something to look forward to, at least. If it's going to be this bitter cold, I don't have it extended on the 10-day. I do have those temperatures into the 30s by about Sunday, Monday, into next week too.
Okay. That'll kind of give us something to hold on to as we brace through this cold snap.
Yes, yeah. If you get frozen in place, I don't know.
You'll get thawed out next weekend. If
we'll see you next week. No, it's nasty cold. Obviously, take the proper precautions. I do again have really cold air by tomorrow morning. So even though a lot of kids don't have school today for President's Day, if they're headed out to the bus stop tomorrow, if they normally walk to school, if that's kind of their normal routine, tomorrow morning is a dangerous one.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
Prepare
Okay.
for that.
I think that's all. Thanks guys.
Lydia. All right, today a big day in West Fargo. Voters are going to be heading to the polls to decide the future of the school district. It's a 3-question bond referendum worth $163 million. Question 1 is for $99.6 million. That'll go towards expansions at Horace High School, Heritage Middle School, and South Elementary. So question 2, That can only pass if question 1 does pass as well. That would be for another $58 million, $41 million for a new elementary school, and $9.5 to expand early childhood special education services. Question 3 also depends on the other questions passing. It proposes $5 million for the Veterans Memorial Arena project. It would be 60% of voters needing to pass each question to approve the referendum. It won't pass with a simple majority. It has to be 60%. There are 14 polling places around West Fargo. Polls are open right now until 7 o'clock tonight. So if you live in West Fargo in that school district, get out there, cast your vote, and have your voice heard. The CEO of Churches United says that the future is actually looking pretty bright after nearly closing its doors for good not too long ago. He says that they've raised quite a bit of money, especially on Giving Hearts Day, and that will help the shelter be funded until state money arrives in July. They needed to raise $200,000 just last August to avoid closing. The nonprofit, after they went into that turmoil with their finances, laid off about 20% of its staff in October. They cut their budget down to $125,000 a month. And actually since then, they've been able to make 5 new hires. And the CEO says that they're still running on a lean budget, but they do feel like they have the staff and the resources to run the shelter and get food out through their food pantry in the meantime. So that's good news. Of course, today is President's Day, and that means there are some closures that you should know about. Not everything is closed, of course, but it is a federal holiday. In Fargo, everything is running as normal, but in West Fargo, garbage and recycling collection will be delayed 1 day all week long. And then all city government buildings, including City Hall, Public Library, Transfer Station, those are all closed. And in Moorhead, it's the same story. All garbage and recycling should be picked up. That would be usually picked up today, I should say, will be picked up tomorrow. The city reminds you that when you're putting your trash out on the curb, make sure it's out by 4 a.m. so it doesn't get skipped over or missed. City offices also closed, but MAP bus services will be running as normal today. In Grand Forks, all A route garbage will be picked up tomorrow. B route will be picked up on Wednesday. Recycling will be normal, and city's area transit is also running as normal. So those are all the closures and schedule updates you need to know about for the major cities. Today on Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, if you missed it over the weekend, the craziest hockey game of the season featured the Moorhead Spuds. A recap of that game that featured 15 goals. That's a lot of goals. It was also a big weekend on and off the court for the UND women's basketball team, picking up a win over NDSU and getting a commitment from Minot's Maggie Fricky, who joins the show this morning. So don't want to miss that. Hot Mic, live from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra. Don't forget, for just 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, get an all-access pass to Inforum.com. Just go to Inforum.com/subscribe, and you can get that deal, get lots of great content. Also, remember, join us the rest of the day. Our next newscast is at 11, then at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And we'll be back with First News again tomorrow morning on a frigid Tuesday morning from 5 to 7. So we'd love to have you wake up with us on Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. Stay warm out there. Stay safe.